Welcome to the Divinely Driven Results Show. I am Elise Smith, your Christian business strategist, and you are going to learn how to grow your business in the Lord's way by really understanding more amazing principles and strategies that other Christian women entrepreneurs are utilizing in their business. Today, we have an incredible guest on the line with us. Her name is Marta Greca. I just practiced that, guys. Marta Greca, and she is the CEO of Media, the creative agency. So, Marta, thanks so much for being on the show. Tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
Sure. And it's so funny that you had that little hiccup about my name because you don't know how many people call me Greta. And it's so interesting to me. I'd love to study the human brain of why the common human brain takes my first and last name and puts them together as Greta. But anyways, my name is Marta Suaret Greca, and as she said it correctly, I am a woman entrepreneur. I am a mom of 5 kids, the 6th on the way. And my story is that, like so many women entrepreneurs, I was struggling, overwhelmed, all that stuff until I honestly have no other explanation other than it was a divine message from God that said there has to be an easier way. There has to be a simpler path. You're not meant to struggle like this. And I sure enough found the way to quickly scale to 10K months and 20K months, 30K months, 40K months. And I went from having a very toxic marriage with my husband to, once I got my business in balance and shifted my mindset to being proud and empowered to be the primary provider for the family, we were able to strengthen our marriage and have a happier home. And he's now got his own multi-million-dollar land development company that he was able to build as I financed our family.
Wow, how
My business.
incredible. That's just such a beautiful story. I'm curious, what part do you feel like God has played in your story at this point?
I think speaking the truth about family values and encouraging other women to understand. I think there's a societal message, unfortunately, more and more and more, that I see that it's the mentality that, oh, someone becomes pregnant and it's a problem to be handled. Rather, I'd love to spread the message that someone becomes pregnant and life becomes more abundant. There's more opportunity for prosperity. And that has been the truth for me for every single one of my children. And it's proving to be true for our 6th child as well, as we have even more. But so that is what I feel I've been put forth to spread the word of, is that you are not having to choose. There is not a choice. There is the gift of life that you are given, and therefore you should move forward with that, because like any other opportunity in life, when we're faced with something new and unknown and unsure, of course it's scary. Of course fear is in our heart. Of course the enemy attacks and goes, ooh, I can really mess with them now. They're nervous. And growing a family can be the very same way, and just how you would face any other, I don't want to say challenge, but any other new experience in life, you can face growing the family with that same excited energy and of wonder and anticipation for what he has in store for you every time that he brings a gift of life into your world, and not something like, oh gosh, what am I going to do now?
Yeah. Oh, that is so incredible. I love the joy that you bring and that light that you bring to that subject, because yeah, I mean, for me, it's a very heartbreaking subject because we have unexplained infertility and we've wanted to have a child more than anything our whole lives. And we believe it's going to happen. Our miracle is coming. But it's heartbreaking when people say, oh yeah, your life is totally ruined when you have a kid, or you can't go on vacation anymore, or you can't run your business anymore. And I love the example that you set for other women, that you can have it all, right? You can do both. So how has that affected your business?
It's driven me with every child. It's driven me to be more successful. And I love that you bring up the example of, oh, you can't travel anymore. That's one of the examples that I see out there in the media. Number one, I see so many shows that unexpected pregnancy comes up, and unfortunately then the choice of abortion is looked as this brave choice, and I know that it's a difficult choice for many, and there's no judgment for those who have felt that was what they had to do. But a commercial comes to mind that basically it was a travel agency, and it was a big joke of, oh, life's over, you can't travel anymore because you had a kid, right? And that I don't like to get angry or let things get to me, but I was like, that makes me so mad. Because, for example, I would be in Italy right now with my mom if it wasn't for COVID and the airlines canceling my trips. So it's twofold. It's you don't have to choose. You can have a prosperous life, but at the same time, you don't have to be a martyr when you're a mom. We feel that in order to be a good mom, it has to all be on us. We have to be on 24/7. It has to be all on our plate. Otherwise, we are an unfit mother. And so I like to break that mold as well. And in terms of, yes, I have a successful business. Yes, my choice is to homeschool my children and to be as present as I can and drive. Like, I love driving my kids to activities and to school. And I love that. That stuff lights me up. But at the same time, there's no shame in me taking a trip with my mom for 10 days to Italy to visit my nonna. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no bad mom. It's just you get to do both. You get to be present and you get to take time for yourself. And just 2 weeks ago, I took a 24-hour trip to a spa resort near me by myself. And in a couple weeks, I get to take my whole family on a beach trip. So it's still not true that your life is devoid of fun once you have kids. It's fulfilled with fun.
I love that. Absolutely. And the concept that you're talking about is what we call and land, right? Like
Mm,
so many times in our life or our business, we feel like we have to choose between this or that.
mm,
Whereas you can have your cake and eat it too, right? Like you can have what you are meant to have because God wants to bless you with abundance in every area of your life, not just, in your life, but also even in your business. And so how have you been blessed in your business by really embracing your family values and the values that God has given you?
I love that you said and land. What comes to mind is this very office, because I remember when it was time to sign the lease, and I thought, at the price of this office, I could get double the size of the house of a mortgage. And I remember I prayed about it, and a voice said, no, it's not the office or your dream house for your family. It's the office and invest in the office and the rest will follow. And sure enough, um, the business, first of all, I was able to provide for my family while my husband built our multi-million-dollar land development company. And through that, we've actually just acquired a home that replicates everything on my vision board, because I'm a vision board geek. And it's on a lake, it's on 36 acres of land. It has this beautiful tree line entrance welcoming us in. And so it was like, as shortly after I signed the lease, he came home and said, would you like to live in this house? We can roll it in one of our land development deals. I was like, aha, I see what you did there, God.
Yes, yeah, and land is such a powerful place to be because I think when we think about choices and we think about the either or, we get into this scarcity mindset, right? And it's like the office or the nice house. And there's a way to be able to have both. And I think that that's a challenge sometimes that we have in, just working our businesses in everyday life is that we think we have to choose between this or this. So how have you been able to find and land and like create that more in your life and your business?
Other than the office and the house, it has been having tons of free time to just hang with my family and be a multi six figure business owner, being present and fully of service for my clients, and not having to be on 24/7,
Mm.
empowering them to step into their full power, and also being of support when they truly need it, when it works for me as well. So I love that, and land. I'm going to have to use that.
Exactly. How powerful. So tell us a little bit more about your business. What do you empower people to do?
Sure. It all started as a media company and photography, videography, web development, social media. We do that. That's a bulk of the business. But then when I was able to coin my minimalist method, which is what I call, I'm a minimalist, and raise the business revenue to such abundant figures while being a present mom. So many women out there, obviously they go, oh, how can I get in on that? Right. So I started to coach and consult 2 years ago in my programs Made to Thrive, which is for emerging entrepreneurs just starting out. And then next level is Evolve, those right at the cusp of 10K wanting to get to multi six figures. And then our Visible VIP program is through my media company, when not only am I coaching you and you're a consultant, but we're doing all the marketing for you.
Awesome. How powerful. And how did you get started with that?
With the media company, I was running an ice cream shop and I had my baby strapped to me, and I loved the freedom that I had. They were very generous, the owners, to allow me to turn the office into the nursery, but it was extremely excruciatingly physically and exhausting. And it was an ice cream shop in a city where it's cold out of the 6 months of the year. So I learned a lot about marketing and PR and building community and customer service and leading a team. And when I saw being able to have a success in that, in a business that's goes under 6 months out of the year, I thought, well, let's bring it to other businesses. And that's how Media, the creative agency, was born.
Mm, how cool. It sounds like God was every step of the way with you,
Oh,
right?
he's there. He cracks me up sometimes. I'm like, I didn't see that coming as a solution, but I trusted there was one.
Exactly. I know he's a god of surprises, and sometimes we
Mhm.
think that it's going to appear a certain way, and it's even more beautiful than we can possibly imagine. So what kind of tip would you give, just kind of a golden nugget for someone who is getting started as an entrepreneur?
I would say to remember that at first you've got to stay in the room for certain things. It's important to find that strategy and that structure and that balance of when are you going to fully focus on your business and when are you going to be fully there for your family, and to try not to go into multitasking too much. Just be fully present for serving your customers and clients, and then be fully present for your family. And understand that then once you hit the ground running and the ball starts rolling and you get more and more successful, it becomes easier and easier and easier, because as you bring in more revenue, you have the resources not only to be generous to those around you. I'm so grateful that I'm able to now provide for my parents and help them financially every single month. When there was a time in my life when they had to buy me groceries for myself and my kids. It's so wonderful to be able to do that for them now, and to be able to take my mom on trips to Italy, or they're coming to the luxury house on the beach with us at the end of the month. Um, and so don't fall into the myth that if you're maybe in the hustle mode or the hustle mentality, that if you were to become more successful, you would be even more stuck and exhausted and overwhelmed, but rather it becomes easier because then you have the ability to bring on help, bring a team. I myself am currently hiring a personal assistant and housekeeper as we get ready for baby number 6. So it just becomes more and more beautiful. The journey
Mm.
does.
I
Mhm.
love that, especially for those people who are afraid of that success, like you talked about earlier, is that it does get easier. And that, just because we are in the grind right now, which I hate that word grind, just because we're in it every single day doesn't mean that it's always going to be like that. As you grow,
Mhm.
you can hire more people and you can build that team around you to be able to support you, because man is not meant to do it alone, and neither are women, right? We take a look at that scripture. So really important to always remember that. So thank you so much for bringing that up. Well,
Mhm.
great. So if they want to get to know a little bit more about what you're up to and where to find you, how can they do so?
Sure. I mentioned I'm a minimalist, and my favorite time of the year is coming up. I get giddy with excitement for it, and it is my minimalist game challenge. And it's going to be housed in a pop-up Facebook community. You'll get to join us, and every single day we're going to release items in our lives to make more room for what we're truly meant for. And in more practical terms, if you're a mama like me, you know that you can have very generous family members, especially when you're like myself, who has so many kids. You just get showered with so many presents every year at Christmas, and you're like, what the heck am I going to do with all this? Where am I going to put it? So we kind of clear house, clear car, clear mind, clear everything to make room for, obviously, not just the physical abundance, but to refocus on the things that bring you joy, so you could be ready to prepare for Jesus Christ. I mean, how freaking exciting is that? He's coming, right?
I love that. Yeah. I mean, out with the old and with the new, and that's how
Yeah.
you can prepare for it. So
Mhm.
beautiful. So, how do they find out how to join that?
They can find me on Facebook. I use my Facebook as a LinkedIn. It's public. It's a public profile. So just simply look up my name as it's being spelled here. I'm the only Marta Suaret Greca out there. You'll be able to find me. You can actually friend request me. It will be accepted, or you can follow me. It's public, and we'll be sharing the links to that. You guys are getting the first sneak peek because we haven't even shared it on my audience yet. The link to join. It hasn't even been created, the pop-up community. So you're getting first dibs. So
Awesome.
look out for that. We're going to be sharing the link sometime next week. I'm not exactly sure. My team writes all my content. They're in charge of that. I just show up and have fun.
I love that. And when is the event?
The Minimalist Challenge is going to be October 25th. It's a 28-day challenge because the brain, after 28 days, there's studies find that then it becomes a habit, right? So it's October 28th until November 24th, right before Thanksgiving. So you're going to get to have fun and clear house right before Thanksgiving.
Sounds wonderful. Well, make sure you guys check it out. And if you want amazing Christian business strategist tips and tricks to be able to grow your business in the Lord's way, check out our Facebook group, Faithful Ladypreneurs. So, Marta, thank you so much for your time today and just your amazing light and energy that you bring. And the fact that you bring that message that women really can do this. We really can have and land and be able to achieve those goals that God has put on our heart, both with our family and our business. So you are just a shining example of that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for watching, guys, and we will see you next time on Divinely Driven Results.